Hello, my cookies, and welcome. Welcome to Russell Cooks. Thanks so much for tuning in. Today, I have some Breeo wood-fired pork chops that I'm going to make. I'm going to gussy them up with a little bit of bacon-enriched barbecue sauce. I'm also going to have an apple fennel salad on top, and for the side, I'm going to have some charred leeks and some cooked eggplant. So now that we know what we're doing, let's gather our ingredients. You're going to need a lemon, some olive oil, bulb of fennel. I have made some barbecue sauce that I've jazzed up by cooking some onions in bacon fat, stirred it in. You need an apple. I got a leek on my board. 2 leeks. I have a graffiti eggplant here that's absolutely gorgeous. I couldn't say no. Salt. And last but not least, you're going to need some pork chops. Now, I have brined these already. I have not put any sort of brown sugar on them. I'm just going to leave them as is and let the barbecue sauce add that necessary sweetness. All right, now that we know what we're doing, we've gathered our ingredients. Let's get cooking. First thing I'm going to do is I'm going to prep this eggplant. I want to salt it and let it sit for a little bit. And then I'm going to prep the leek, wash them. Then we're going to start cooking. It's all downhill from there. All right, I'm going to cut this eggplant into easy to grill rounds between 3/4 and 1 inch thick. All right, let's go ahead and liberally salt these up. This isn't like eggplant parm where you need to let it sit for an hour or whatnot. I'm just going to season it. Let it sit. Get my pork chops cooking. They're going to take about 12 to 15 minutes. Eggplant's not going to take that long, so we got time. Move those over and let those sit. Now it's time for the leeks. Now this can be a little tricky. You want to cut the little roots off, but you don't want to cut it so deep that you actually cut off what holds all the leaves together. We want to leave that on so we can wash out all the grit in the middle, but they stay together. So I'm just ever so delicately going to trim off these little root ends. Now we're going to trim off the green part. You can do the little shank that I normally do. It just gives you more of this, or you can just make it look nice and do this and use this for something else. And that's what I'm going to do. Now let's cut it down the middle. Now if a couple outer leaves fall off, that's fine, but we're going to go rinse this and get it ready. I'm going to go wash these real quick. All right, these are nice and washed. Now it's time. We're going to get the pork onto the grill. We're going to have it higher. You're going to want to cook it to about 110 degrees, and then we're going to drop it and get a nice sear on it. All right, it is time for the pork chops to go on. I'm just going to put a little bit of oil on them. They've been brined. Time to grill. But first, I'm going to give a little snippy snip right through this fat right here, just so they don't curl. Sometimes you have to do it twice, not on this one. All right, so let's get this on. This keeps it from buckling. I gotta lower these. All right, I'm gonna get my eggplant and leeks on now. I'm gonna brush them with a little bit of olive oil, get them on. I'm gonna flip these pork chops about every 2 minutes, and I'm gonna cook them until about 135, hoping that carryover cooking takes them to 145. All right, let's go ahead and drop this down. And now, don't walk away. This is very active. This is active cooking. You need to be here, you need to be flipping, you need to be moving, you need to be listening, you need to be paying attention. Leeks are done. Let's get them off. Look at that browning. Let's see where I am with this pork. Gonna have to raise it up a little bit. As I'm pulling the eggplant off, I'm gonna put it in a bowl and cover it so it steams through. We got some nice, flavorful char on all this. All right, I think it's time. We flip the pork chops, we start getting some barbecue sauce on it. Let's go ahead and flip these. More barbecue sauce. As they come up the temperature, they're going to come up at different times. That's okay. Pull them off as they're done. So while we're waiting for the pork to finish, the last 4 minutes of cooking, we're going to be brushing it with barbecue sauce and flipping it. You want to do it towards the end so you don't burn and scorch all that beautiful barbecue sauce. While we're waiting, I'm just gonna make a quick apple fennel slaw with a little bit of lemon juice, a little bit of olive oil, and we're gonna top our pork chops with that. It's gonna add a nice, crunchy, fresh burst to that savory and sweet pork chop that we got going on. Let's go ahead, take our apple, and just gonna grate it. I got a honey crisp, nice and crunchy. I like a little sweetness here. It'll pair nicely with the pork. Let's go ahead and get this into a bowl. And let's go ahead and squeeze half a lemon over it so it doesn't start turning brown instantly. Now it's time for the fennel. I'm going to use about half a fennel bulb here. This is a massive bulb. Trim off anything that looks unsavory. And now we're just going to slice this up real thin, shave it. And let's go ahead and get this in our bowl as well. And we're going to drizzle a little bit of olive oil and toss it together. If you want to add something like parsley to this, give it a little green zhuzh, you can. And this is fantastic. Ooh, let's not forget a little bit of salt. Salt always makes it taste a little bit better. Salt makes stuff taste more like itself until it just tastes like salt. Let's go ahead and give this a little taste here. Woo-wee. Yes. Oh, that's fantastic. I eat a whole bowl of that. Go ahead and land these pork chops. And here comes the apple fennel slaw. Now, if you went to a restaurant, this would be $45. All right, it's time. Let's give it a taste. I just love eggplant as is, and these steamed charred leeks will be fantastic. A little salt and pepper is all you need. Go ahead and cut into it. Ah, yes. Buttery deliciousness. You can get a little bit of barbecue sauce on this as well if you want, but the leeks still have a little bit of crunch. That eggplant, just tender. Delicious flavor, fantastic. Go ahead and cut into this juicy pork chop here. Look at that, nice and juicy. Oh, I don't even have to squeeze it and you can see the juice. That was a big bite. That is so juicy. It's delicious. That barbecue sauce with that bacon, it adds such a little baconiness. It tastes a little bit like bacon, but it also adds some smokiness, which is so good. Really enhances the smokiness you get from cooking over this Breeo. Get a little bit of this apple fennel slaw in here. Oh, what a sharp contrast to this rich pork. Easy, elegant. What more do you want? So that was sweet and smoky pork chops with an apple fennel slaw and wood-fired eggplant and leek. If you like what you saw, don't forget to check me out. I'm on YouTube, Twitch, TikTok, Instagram, and Twitter. If you want to support this channel, the best way to do that for free is just subscribe to my YouTube. I also have a whole bunch of affiliate links down below. If you buy anything from them, I do get a little kickback. It's another way to support the channel, and I only put stuff I use or I like, so there's no junk. Thanks so much for tuning in, and I hope to see you next time. Take care.